Okay, let's take a look at Jetstream. Jetstream is a beautifully designed application scaffolding that's a great starting point for your Laravel apps. It's built on top of Tailwind CSS, some Alpine JS for JavaScript, and it includes features like logging in, registration, profile management, two-factor auth, session management, API tokens, and themes. You also have two stacks to choose from, either Livewire or Inertia, which are both great. In this series, we'll go over all of the different features, and in this video, we'll take a look at installation and a high-level overview of all of the different features that I just mentioned. Also note that there's another underlying package being used called Laravel Fortify. So Fortify is where all of the logic for logging in, registering, and two-factor auth goes. Think of Jetstream as the front-end portion, so all of the blade views, Livewire, and Tailwind CSS, and think of Fortify as the backend portion where all of the auth logic goes. We'll also take a look at using Fortify on its own. So let's go ahead and install Jetstream and take a look around. So if you don't have a Laravel project yet, you can use the Laravel installer and do Laravel new project name and just tack on --jet. But in this case, I already have a project, so let's composer require it. Okay. And now let's make use of Livewire here, and let's add themes as well so I can show you that. So let's add themes. And now we just have to install the JavaScript dependencies, so mostly just Tailwind here. Okay. Okay, that's done. Let's migrate our database. And now everything should be installed. So if you take a look at our app, we have login and register up here. And just as you expect, we should be able to fill this out and create a new user and log in. So let's do that. So let's make a user for myself. And this should log us in as expected. Why is that not working? Let me just migrate fresh everything again. So I'm just going to run this command, which is PHP artisan migrate fresh seed. And let's try this again. And hopefully it works this time. Okay, so it did. So let's take a look at all of the features available to us. Actually, before I do that, let me go into the code and turn on all the features. So there is a config Jetstream here, and let's enable these two as well. There's also a config Fortify, which has some options as well, as you can see here. And the only one that's commented out is email verification for registration, which we'll just leave for now. Okay. And if I go back here and refresh, we should see a bunch of options here. So the first one is the profile. So a profile where you can update your name and your email and your password is something you always have to build whenever you're making a new application. So it's great that Jetstream has this by default. So these are Livewire components. So if I make edits here, it does not do a full page refresh, as Livewire makes use of AJAX requests. So if I save this, you'll see that it saves it and we don't have a full page refresh. So same thing for password. I don't think I have to demo that. Obviously there's validation here as well. And a section for profile photo if you want to add that. So let's add a picture of myself here. And you see that it updates here, and also, let me save this first actually. And it also updates this one up here. Okay. Next is two-factor auth. And this makes use of Google Authenticator to do two-factor auth. Now, I personally never used this before. I'm used to two-factor auth where the application just sends you an SMS on your phone. But doing that here would require us to collect phone number information and also have a service available like Twilio or Nexmo that sends out SMS messages. So Google Authenticator is actually pretty simple. Just download the app to your phone and let's go ahead and enable it. Let's enter our password here. And now we have this QR code. So I'm going to record my phone screen. So I'm going to scan the QR code with my camera app. And now I'm going to tap on this and it should open the Google Authenticator app. And now it's asking for verification. So we want to add this Laravel app into our Google Authenticator app. And now you see it there. It's called Laravel Jetstream example. And now when I log into my application, it's going to ask for this code instead of getting it from SMS. So let's do that. And as you see in the mobile app, it's timed. So it changes every few seconds. Okay, so let me log out. Actually, there's also these recovery codes, which you can use if you lose your phone for whatever reason. And you can log in with these recovery codes. So you would just store this in a secure place. And if you ever lose your phone, you can use these as well. Okay, so let's log out. And let's see if we get the two-factor auth code. So I'll log in here. Enter my email. And now it should ask us for our code here. So the code that's showing is 672427, and this should work hopefully. And it does, cool. So again, let me show you the recovery codes in case you lose your phone. And now we can say use a recovery code, and we can just grab any one of those and make use of that, and that should allow us to log in as well. Cool. Okay, what's next? Let's go back to profile, and let me just turn off two-factor auth. Okay, let me just confirm my password. And next is browser sessions. So this is a pretty cool feature too. So it allows us to log out of any other devices that we're logged in from. So let me log in from another browser, and you'll see that session show up here as well. So let me just grab this, and let's open that up in Firefox. Let's log in, and I should log in as the same user. Okay, and back to Chrome. Now if I refresh this, you'll see that we have two active sessions, one for Firefox and one for Chrome. And if I log out of other browser sessions, this will log us out of Firefox. So let's do that. Again, confirm. And now if I go back to Firefox, I should be logged out when I refresh here. And I am. So yeah, cool feature that lets us log out of other devices if we forget to do so. And the last thing here is deleting your account, which is pretty straightforward. Again, ask for confirmation if you want to do that. Okay, what's next up here in the menu? We have API tokens. So this lets third-party services authenticate with our application on your behalf. So a good example of something using this is Laravel Forge if you use Forge. So within the Forge dashboard, you can do different things like creating new servers, adding sites, and so on. But if you want to do that within your own app, say a mobile app, then you would have to make use of Forge's API. And in order to do that, you need to generate a token from within your Forge dashboard. So same thing applies here, and we'll take a look at this in another video. And also this is making use of Laravel Sanctum. What's next? Next is Teams. So if you have Teams enabled, then it will create a team for you whenever you create a new account. As you see, I have one here. And you can add members, but that member already has to have an existing account. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use Firefox again, make a new user. And let's just make one here. Okay. So let's register this new user. And now let's invite this user to my team here. So user@user.com. And there's also roles here, which you can customize within the code. So let's just say admin, add that user. And you can see a list of the users here. And now within this user, they should belong to two teams. So I should have my team, which I'm currently signed in as, and I can switch to this other team as well and have a whole new set of information show here, depending on the team that you're currently selected. So if you've ever used Stripe before, it's very similar to that, where you can see different account information based on whatever team you're signed in as. So yeah, another great feature. If you ever try to implement this, you know it's a lot of work. And I believe that's it. Obviously logging out as well. And I didn't mention this, but you can also reset your password, which is standard in all of the auth packages. Let me just show you this real quick. At least the email being sent out. So I'm going to set the email driver to log. And let's put in my email here. Let's email the reset link. Okay. And there should be a new email here. There's the Laravel log. The email should be somewhere down here. There it is. Let's go ahead and reset our password. And this should work properly. Okay. And we can change our password here. So again, all standard stuff, which is all included within Laravel Jetstream. So yeah, in the next few videos, we'll take a look at how to customize the different features if you want to do that.